Science has spoken. Early-stage research on ivermectin has shown that in a laboratory setup with cells grown in a petri dish, ivermectin can slow down the replication of the COVID-19 virus, but at dangerously high concentrations. According to early tests done on humans, a single dose of ivermectin does not prevent getting COVID-19, and the data is inconclusive as of now if it can lessen the symptoms, and we do have scientists calling for larger clinical trials to verify this. Hello science fans, and welcome to SHE-ensya's Corner. Here we kick back, relax, and talk about science events that are exciting, scary, or fun in the life of your resident Filipino scientist. It's April 10, science fans, and I'm Chona Camille Vincicruz Abeledo, your resident Filipino scientist, and welcome to episode 20 of SHE-ensya's Corner. So for this week in quarantine, an intense debate on the use of an anti-parasitic drug called ivermectin on COVID-19 patients has caused conflict on so many levels. Currently, the NCR Plus bubble in the Philippines is still in enhanced community quarantine due to a surge in COVID-19 cases that are threatening to paralyze our healthcare system. I guess one can imagine how the impact of the situation in so many lives and in our economy can make many people desperate. Recently, government officials in the Philippines and in other parts of the world have clamored for the use of a cheap drug called ivermectin to treat COVID-19 patients. The reasoning behind their insistence of using it for COVID-19 patients is grounded on its low cost, which is just about 35 pesos per dose, which is less than $1. And some even share their own stories of having ivermectin used on them by doctors when they were sick of COVID-19. But the Food and Drug Administration of the Philippines and other FDA agencies from all over the world have not approved the use of ivermectin against viral diseases. So what is ivermectin? Is there really evidence indicating its potential use against COVID-19? And why is it that FDA agencies all over the world are preventing hospitals and doctors from using it on their patients? Discovered in the late 1970s, the pioneering drug ivermectin was discovered from a soil microorganism by researchers at the Kitasato Institute in Tokyo, Japan. Originally introduced as a veterinary drug, it kills a wide range of internal and external parasites in commercial livestock like cows and pigs, and in our pets. So, sa madaling sabi, ginagamit siya bilang pampurga ng hayop. But in other developing countries, ivermectin in lower dosages and in different formulations o ibang pagtimpla has been approved for human use to help get rid of some internal parasites also. But in the Philippines, the only form of ivermectin that can be used on humans is in a cream or shampoo form that is used to treat head lice or kuto, or the reddening of the skin called rosacea or eczema. Ivermectin works against parasites by blocking a specific group of channels present in the cells of parasitic worms and insects that allows them to move and feed. So ivermectin paralyzes the body walls and throats of parasitic worms, but not of animals or humans because it cannot cross and get into our brain, and it is also incompatible with the channels present in our cells. But this doesn't mean that ivermectin has no side effects in animals or in humans. In the decades that it has been used as medicine, the most common side effects are inflammation of the skin and the eyes that can lead to pain, swelling, and even vision changes, and these are often caused by allergic reactions. The drug in human use should only be taken once a day, and several other more serious side effects have been recorded when used for intestinal infections. And this includes extreme tiredness, stomach pain, dizziness, diarrhea, and fever. Ivermectin can also stay within our body for a long time, and traces of it in poop have been found for as long as 12 days after your last dose. And since it can stay in your body for a long time, more serious injuries from its use have been reported. The more serious side effects can start as a pain in your neck that can lead to shortness of breath and even blindness. You can lose your ability to control when to pee or when to poop. It can lead to low blood pressure, seizures, coma, or liver damage. Due to the risks of using ivermectin, it is only available when you have a doctor's prescription. Its benefits and risks must be analyzed carefully before you willingly expose your body to something that can potentially harm you. But why the sudden interest in using ivermectin against COVID-19? Science fact. The interest in the use of ivermectin against COVID-19 began with several publications showing that it can slow down the replication of the virus in a laboratory setup. These studies used cell culture techniques, which are cells grown in a petri dish that were exposed to COVID-19, and then they observed how ivermectin helped the cells survive. This initial data was consistent. It showed that ivermectin slows down the spread of COVID-19 in cells grown in the lab. But there was a catch. The concentration, basically the amount of ivermectin that was used on the cells, was reported to be, at least by one paper, to be 10 times higher than the approved dose for human use. Higher doses mean that even if it can slow down the virus in our body, we risk getting worse or dying because of complications due to the medicine itself. Of course, at this point in time, the scientific community is all hands on deck in trying to find solutions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. So small-scale trials in humans have started, such as one in a published paper in Spain, 16 reviewed by the World Health Organization, and about 2,000 more enrolled from all over the world. Other papers suggest its combined use with other, more expensive drugs, especially since its current dose won't be enough to stop the virus, while higher doses can hurt us more. So at this point in time, the current evidence on the use of ivermectin to treat COVID-19 patients is inconclusive. So until more data is available, the World Health Organization and the various Food and Drug Administrations all over the world is prohibiting the use of ivermectin for COVID-19 patients unless it is for a clinical trial. But one thing is clear among the results that are available to scientists. Ivermectin cannot prevent COVID-19 infections. This means that even if you're drinking ivermectin, you can still get infected with the COVID-19 virus. So it is not an alternative to an effective vaccine. Also, despite the low cost of ivermectin, vaccination programs in the Philippines are currently free, so you won't have to spend more in order to get vaccinated. The Philippines Food and Drug Administration has also issued a limited permit last April 8 on an undisclosed hospital for the use of ivermectin for patients with COVID-19 with life-threatening conditions. So this could mean that we are starting our own clinical trials. But for now, COVID-19 remains to be a very real, very deadly threat. So let's keep our masks on, continue social distancing, and the regular washing of our hands. And also, please don't add additional risks to your life or the lives of your loved ones by drinking an unapproved medicine that you see on social media or the Viber thread of your friends. Please verify facts and trust in systems put in place. Watch out also for vaccination programs in your own cities or towns and in your companies. More data has been pouring in about the effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccines, and the medical community is one in saying that the best vaccine is the one available in your area. And for those who have been vaccinated, we do have some data showing us you can still get sick and you can still spread the virus. But the vaccines are shown to be very, very effective in preventing death. So, with or without being vaccinated, please keep your masks on, social distance, and wash your hands. The COVID-19 pandemic has and is severely affecting our lives. But I believe there is hope, and it is getting brighter every day. That we, as a society, as a people and as a species, will get through this together. So once again, there is data that has been collected indicating the potential use of ivermectin against COVID-19. But it is at the earliest stages of clinical trials, which means there is still a huge chance that it will cause more harm than good. So for now, let's wait on this very important data before considering it for use on yourself or in people that you love who have been infected by the virus. And that's it for SHE-ensya's Corner this week. For more updates about the goings-on in SHE-ensya and your resident Filipino scientist, please follow SHE-ensya on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also drop by our website at www.sheensya.com. You can also follow my personal Instagram account at shona.abeledo. I hope you were able to learn something from our episode of SHE-ensya's Corner this week. If you did, I hope you can give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to message me, your resident Filipino scientist, in the comments section below. Thank you very much, and see you around!